recording this to the computer. Hello. I've been mumbling and I probably have mumbled to say that I am recording this. Yes, I am recording. Hello, everyone. Whatever the time you're watching, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. I have got an amazing guest here today, Lisa Moore. She's a radio presenter, professional speaker, and a health and a well-being transformation coach. And we are going to be talking about something that's really, really important to all of us, especially as women. It's important to all of us, but especially as women. Lisa,
Hello, Nastanka. How nice to be here. Really nice to see you. So we're gonna talk about confidence.
we
Um,
are going to be talking about confidence. Lisa, can I actually say to our viewers, we have a very interesting story to tell, don't we?
we do,
We
and I
do,
see
and
you.
it just flows really nice into the confidence topic. So, few months ago, actually about almost 10, 11 months ago, when I had just first started the business and trying to get it all up, trying to connect with people and network with people, I saw Lisa on LinkedIn, which is a professional platform for business owners and corporate people. And I saw all these amazing titles: radio presenter, professional speaker, and health and well-being coach. And I honestly was in awe of her, and I did not have the confidence to send the connect request, and I thought she would not accept my connect request. But I was more like, oh, here you go, connect anyway. And nobody knew I was doing that. I did that, and well, lo behold, you accepted it. And I was like, oh my God, Lisa accepted it. And we were talking about that. And then, do you want to tell your part of the story, Lisa?
Because I was feeling the same as you when I saw you and what you did, and thought, oh my God, she's so amazing. She's so incredible, and I think it's just really interesting how we make up these stories in our heads about people that we see out there on social media, or even even if you go to a networking meeting and you see this person who's talking across the room and you like, oh, they're amazing, and we don't reach out, and we should.
Yeah, we should. That brings us to a good point of our topic today: confidence. Lisa, it's all to you.
Okay, well, it's really interesting what you how you talked about that story, because we see all these images of these people and professional photographs and things like that, and so we imagine that they're superbly confident and amazing people. And I have to be really honest here. I'm not. I am now. Actually, that's not true. I am now a confident person, but most of my life I was not a confident person. I would worry about what people thought about me. I was scared to put myself out there, and I would compare myself to others. And when I started my business originally back in 2006, it was a personal training business. And I remember looking at all these other personal trainers that were around me, and what they would put out there on social media, or I'd see their flyers, or I'd see their vans pass by with all these wonderful logos, and I'd be like, oh, they're so much better than me. They're so much, they're so much more intelligent. They know more than me. And at the end of the day, a personal trainer is a personal trainer, and we all have the same knowledge, pretty much. Pretty much, we all have the same knowledge of muscles and bones and what moves what and exercises and things. But in our heads, we create this story about other people being better than us. And confidence is something um, you can't buy, sadly. Although, actually, confidence in a bottle. It's probably
What?
front. But I saw this morning in the bathroom, and I was like, oh my God, you can buy confidence in a bottle. But actually, you can't. And it's the same with motivation, but that's another story for another speech. Um, so if you're watching this right now, I would imagine that there are parts of your life where you are confident. There are things that you do where you are confident. Maybe you're a mum, maybe you're confident in your job, or maybe you're confident in how you dress. you're confident putting your makeup on. Whatever it is, there will be things that you are confident at. And the things that you're confident at are your comfort zone. That's when you're sitting in your zone of expertise, your awesomeness, because you know what to do, you know what to say, you know how to feel, you know how to act. You're confident because you're in your comfort zone. When we feel discomfort and not confident, it's when we go out of that comfort zone.
Yeah.
So the question is, so how do I get that confidence? Because actually I can't buy it in a bottle. You can, but it don't work. Um, how do we do it? So I'm afraid the answer is you have to take action to change it.
Yeah.
So a few years ago, well, actually not a few years ago, when I worked in sales for part of General Electric, which is a huge corporate company. They're not as big as they used to be, but it's a massive company. And I moved from quite a comfortable position as the credit manager into sales, which is quite a different kettle of fish. Felt very comfortable in my old job, knew what I had to do. It was easy, you know, I knew it. When I moved into sales, in my head, I thought, oh, this is going to be easy. You know, what's hard about this? Oh, believe me, it was. And I went into complete meltdown of no confidence, comparing myself to others and things like that. But part of being in sales, one of the jobs that you are expected to be good at is presenting, doing sales presentations, being in charge of the meeting and all that sort of stuff. And I hated it. I was so nervous about presenting that I think in my whole career of being in sales, I may have done one, maybe two presentations. Every other one, I managed to get away with convincing my boss that he needs to be there as the more important person, or getting the techie guy in to do the techie stuff. Or I have to admit this, there was one particular presentation where I threw a sickie because I was just too scared. So that was my sales career. Then I left that sales career and started up Fit for More, my fitness business. And I was absolutely fine standing up in front of a group of people teaching an exercise class because that wasn't presenting, but actually it is. It's exactly the same. That was fine because I knew what I was talking about, I knew what to do, and I was in my comfort zone. But I remember going to a fitness conference, fitness business conference, and listening to the guy on stage saying the best way you can grow your business is to get good at public speaking. And this uncle, she'll resonate with this because she came and talked at one of my events and also on my radio show.
Yes.
And I listened to him tell me his story about when he was a personal trainer in a basement gym and how his very intelligent, very clever client, very wealthy client had said to him, you need to go and join Toastmasters. You need to learn how to speak. And I took it on board and thought, you know what, I'm going to have to do this. So I did join Toastmasters and I did go and stand on stage. And it was probably one of the most scary things I've ever done.
Mm.
But going back to what I said about how do you build confidence, you have to take that step. You have to take that deep breath. You have to pull up your big girl pants. You have to be courageous enough to take that very, very first step and try. You have to do it.
Yep.
What happens then is you sort of start to feel like, okay, well, I've taken the first step. And then this journey starts with confidence. And it's, I've got to try and remember all 7 steps. I don't know whether I'll remember all 7 steps. So the first step is making the decision of what you want to do. And part of that is linking into why do you want to do it. So that, again, is another big speech. But my why was I needed to grow my business because I needed to support my children because I became a single mum and it was down to me. There wasn't any money coming in from anywhere else. So it was down to me to grow my business. So I had my why. I had the what, and that was to take the next step. Then what happens is you get to step 3. And at step 3, something happens. Something goes wrong, or there's an obstacle, or you make a complete arse of yourself on the stage. Am I allowed to say that word? Or you stand up on stage and talking about public speaking, and you freeze and you go, I can't remember what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And at step three, this is the crucial part because then you can go down two different paths.
Yeah.
One is you go, oh, sod this, I'm not going to do that again. I feel like a fool. And you put up the barriers and you shut yourself down and you go walk backwards to your comfort zone.
Yeah.
Or step three is where you go, okay, so I made an ass of myself. I forgot what I was going to say, but nobody laughed at me. And actually, I got a round of applause at the end because everyone was going, well done. You actually took the opportunity and did it. And you learn from that situation. Because when things go wrong, that is when we truly grow. That is when our confidence starts to grow because we are learning. We're learning the next step.
Yeah.
So when you get to step three, you have to take that deep breath and go, what can I learn from this situation? Then you move up to step four, and that is you do it again, you do it again, and you do it again. That's where you practice, 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 practice.
Yeah.
Then you move up to step five, which is, this is starting to feel quite okay now. You know, I feel like I'm learning how to do this. And that's when you're building your knowledge, you're building your expertise. And then step six, you're stepping into that comfort zone. And suddenly you're confident.
Yeah.
And I can see my journey. I look back to how many years ago did I join Toastmasters? Probably about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
And here I am now, live, doing a live interview. Well, I know it's being recorded, but doing an interview on Zoom with Nisanka.
Yeah.
And I'm not particularly worried about it. I'm a little bit nervous because I'm not as prepared as I could have been. But I'm doing it anyway because I can learn from it, even if it goes wrong.
Yeah.
Then you get to step seven is you're well and truly in your comfort zone, and then it's time for step one again. Yeah. So there are 7 really simple steps that you go through, but the first 2 are the most important. Is you need to understand what it is that you're trying to become confident at or in, and why is that important to you. So why is it important to you to become confident? So in a nutshell, it's not in a bottle. Right. It's in you. It's inside you.
Yeah.
We all have that ability to just take that step up. And the journey, it just goes, you repeat, rinse and repeat, you rinse and repeat. So Nisanka came to Inspiring Talks Brighton, which is one of my sort of businesses. And first time you'd done it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was the first time, yeah.
First time. And I remember my first time on stage at Inspiring Talks. I went to speak as a speaker at Inspiring Talks.
Yeah.
And then, a year and a half later, I bought the business. And I'm not special. I'm no different to anybody else. I still had to struggle and still have my demons, and I still struggle with my demons. But I took the courage to take that deep breath and go, what's the worst that can happen? My knickers could fall down on stage.
Just pull them up or take it off.
So confidence comes from taking that first step, really.
Yeah. I could not agree more, Lisa, with everything you have said. When you were talking about it, like, I've had so many things clicking in my brain, and then my journey. I mean, obviously, I share about my traumatic experiences all the time, but what it also does is it loses when you go through these adverse experiences in your life, it kind of chips away your confidence. It doesn't mean that you can't build it back. It goes, it needs the same process you just said. Doesn't matter what your trauma is, you need to resolve the trauma, but you also can absolutely follow Lisa's 7 steps and build up your confidence again. But I'm going to share you something about my driving. You haven't seen my car yet, so I'm a confident driver. I'm not a good driver. Let's just make the distinction there, okay? But driving, I didn't learn to drive until I was about 37 years old. that was very recent. Well, not recent. I'm trying to mark my age down. Okay, but I failed it like 3 times before I could actually pass it. But when I sat in the car and the driving instructor told me, well, it's yours now, you do this, do that. I did not understand anything. I was like, what is going on? And, give me any book, I'm okay with it, right? But that was completely way out of my comfort zone.
Mm.
But I needed it because I had a child and I couldn't. I had enough of going, taking the train or cabs or asking for lifts. So my why was I needed to feel a bit more independent. But if I hadn't taken that action then I wouldn't have been driving today. Watch out, all the other drivers, though, when I'm in on the street, by the way. But I think it was terrifying at the beginning. With anything else, it can be terrifying at the beginning.
Mm,
Can be terrifying,
absolutely.
but it gets better and easier, much more fun. And you look back at your first step, you go, "What was I actually worried about?"
Yeah,
There's going to be a time that you will look back and ask, "What was I worried about?"
yeah. And I think one of the other things that when I'm coaching my clients and we talk about confidence and things is that I often say to them, you've got this far in your life. How have you managed to get this far in your life without, having to change, having to learn, having to grow? And
Mm.
sometimes we don't spend enough time looking back at the achievements that we've made.
No.
It's only now that I look back and go, oh my goodness, I present a radio show now, and I run Inspiring Talk Brighton, and I've got a networking company. And how, that's all happened because of taking action a long time ago. And you can apply, because quite often when it's something that we really, really want to do, because maybe it's a passion of ours or a desire, maybe we want to learn a particular hobby, the why is quite clear. But the same principles that you apply to that and achieving that goal, I know that you've got, is it 3 degrees, Nisanka?
I've got quite a few, yeah.
Yeah. So that's a huge achievement. And somebody who's never, I haven't got a degree. I actually didn't even get any A levels. I got O levels, and then I went out to work. But I look at that and I think, wow, that's amazing. 3 degrees. There's, that's a pop group as well. Um, that's incredible
Yeah.
that you did all of that. But you can apply how you did that to something that you're maybe a bit more nervous about.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I'll tell you, I think confidence, as you say, is contextual, and then this is how you can apply things into your life. So when I first started the business and thought, okay, I'm going to do it on my own. Um, Obviously, I had separated from my husband, ex-husband by then. Trying to move into a house, starting the business at the same time, and I looked back and I was petrified. I had no money coming in, just like you, Liz. I had just become a single mother and petrified looking at life and thinking, how am I going to do this? I've got no money coming in. Business is just starting, all of that. But I looked at when I first decided to come to UK, I had no money. I hadn't completed any of the educational qualifications when I first started dreaming of coming to UK. And I had a vision and I kept working towards it. So I thought if I did that back then, and I'm going to be able to do this again. So we always have done things without us realizing. Sometimes we think we don't step outside the comfort zone, Lisa, but when we don't have a choice, we always do.
Yeah.
That's our
Yeah.
survival response.
Yeah.
So
When the going gets tough, we always step up.
yeah, we do step up. So why can't you make it a choice to step out of your comfort zone?
Mm. Yeah, if you didn't know how to cook yourself something to eat,
Yeah,
you didn't know, and you were starving, and your children were starving,
yeah,
I bet you'd find out how to cook.
yeah. You would bring out all the resources within you, strengths. You'd find the resources. You talk to people. You'll find different ways of, however, achieving a good meal.
Mm.
It's all about bringing out all the strengths that you have and connecting with them. And
Yeah.
like you said, follow Lisa's 7 steps. would you mind reminding the 7 steps for our viewers?
Oh, now you're going to put me on the spot, aren't you? So, step one
Yeah,
is know your what and make
yeah,
make your decision.
yeah,
You know your make your decision, know your why. Step two is actually take some action. So
yeah,
that's probably the hardest bit to go. Whoa.
yeah,
Step three is where something goes wrong. So that's where you can possibly take two different paths. So you can either learn from it or you go, sorry, I'm going back to my comfort zone.
yeah,
Step four is where you practice, practice, practice. Step five is then you start to become a bit of an expert in it.
yeah.
Step six is your comfort zone. You're in your comfort zone, and then step seven goes back that round to.
To the
I might have missed one out, but
No,
I
I
think
think you said all the 7.
yeah,
But everybody who is watching this understand there is this circle, and that's how you achieve more and more confidence in different aspects of your life. You can start with something simple, build it up, pick another one, and confidence is something worth having and feeling connected to.
mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Thank you very much, Lisa, for all your advice and for your time. I am going to turn off the recording, but bear with me if you stay with me. And thank you very much, all the viewers, for watching. And actually, I forgot one thing. If anybody wants to work with you and build their confidence up, how would they contact you?
So that you can find me on LinkedIn, Lisa Moore on LinkedIn. Just Google me, and it's Moore. Or you can find me on Facebook either on my personal page, Lisa Moore, or look for Fit for More. That's FITFORMOORE.
Brilliant. And Lisa also runs an amazing, with this beautiful, pleasant, funny, lively personality, runs an amazing networking as well. That is Athena Mixatex. So if anybody is interested in actually joining Athena Mixatex, then do contact Lisa. I would highly recommend that one actually.
Thanks.
Yeah, I feel like I belong to a tribe. Yeah, I've met amazing friends, who invite me to go out for walks and things like that. So it's an amazing environment. So that's how you contact Lisa, and you obviously know how to contact me, Nisanka at coachingwithnisanka.com. And feel confident, guys. Uh, Take care.